very exciting that we've hit 30 years of support for Ballarat basketball. I remember early days when we first started sponsoring. It was a lot about the women's program. We were enjoying a very successful time. They'd won 6 or 7 championships, and they were playing in a second tier competition. And the association came to us and said we're really keen for them to move up into NBL 1 into the top tier. And we had some of our elite girls having to leave town and go and play for some of our rival clubs. There was cost to family, and it was quite expensive to move up into the higher league. So we got on board, and that helped the women's program go into NBL 1. And it really, from then, that's when women's basketball really took off. These days, I really look around participation, especially the women's and young girls' participation, and the growth that we've seen in this 30 years and our support, which has helped. We've just seen women's basketball grow massively. Yeah, a few years back I received a life membership to Ballarat Basketball. I think that was off the back of mainly my administration work with the board, with getting the new basketball stadium, Ballarat Sports and Events Centre going. That was huge for Ballarat. It's been a real turning point. It's helped with participation. So that's probably one of the things I'm most proud of, having played and been part of basketball for a long time, and all our family with coaching and managing and things like that. But the new stadium and just the growth it's brought to the town has been fantastic. Well, at Integra, we've been creating communities now for over 30 years, and part of that role is connecting people, and sport does that for us. So being part of the Ballarat Basketball Partnership, and especially around women's sport, that's been fantastic. My connection with Ballarat Basketball started around the 2000s. I played for a couple of years when I moved to Ballarat. My wife and their family were heavily involved in Ballarat basketball. They were coaches, players, managers, physios. After a couple of years of retirement, I then moved into the board, and thoroughly loved that, working with the board, and were able to successfully get the new Ballarat Sports and Events Centre built. So yeah, we've had a long history. It's been very exciting. I think in life you have your school friends, maybe your uni friends, and you also have your sporting friends, and Ballarat basketball has brought a lot of friendship to our family.
We want to create community, that's what we do. So when I think of community, I think of education, I think of health, and I think of sport. And I think they're really the fabric of building a great community. So if you can be connected with those pillars of the community, like the Miners and like Ballarat basketball, then I suppose it helps to connect that engagement. I was actually lucky enough to be the cadet coach for the Miners in that year, so I was sitting on the bench when we beat Frankston in the final, and it was fantastic. One of the greatest memories and most enduring friendships that you've ever created with the teammates of that year. So yeah, it's great. I reckon the milestones can be more defined by the friendships and the connections that we've made, rather than the accolades of trophies or the premierships or whatever it might be. But from under 16 young men that I coached who are still great friends of mine today, through to that 1995 basketball team who were in my wedding party and are still today great friends. I think the connections that you make, from long-time servants and volunteers of the club that we still are connected with now. So probably the greatest thing of the whole 30 years has just been enduring connections.
I think there's been so many benefits to basketball over that 30-year period. When you think about that length of time, obviously it's in a generation. So Integra, our family, owned and operated the business, and so we're talking about second generation commitment from Integra over that period. And it's not by any means just transactional either. It's not a standard sort of sponsorship agreement, if you like. When you look at the commitment from directors as being coaches in the past, players in the past, volunteers on various committees, Integra were certainly an integral role of assisting with lobbying for Selkirk Stadium and the design of Selkirk Stadium. So there's really many elements to this relationship, which has been fantastic for the association over that 30 years.
I started playing basketball back in primary school days. So started playing, then actually became a cheerleader, believe it or not, for the Miners back in the day, and then continued through to now supporting my children playing, and now on the board as well. So lifetime involvement, I guess.
Probably the same. I think I started about under 10s, I think, back in the old days. Started with X's first of all. Have had, my wife still plays. I've got 3 kids, all still involved with basketball at the moment. Daughter playing youth league, middle son playing domestic, and then youngest also in the squad as well. So now on the board as well. So extremely busy, and absolutely love everything to do with Ballarat basketball.